let's see, right here, you can see where this says, Wheeler said that Blaisdell said that he reasoned that the police wouldn't, they'd favor me or something if I was in the Elvis outfit. Well, that's not true. I'll tell you why I was in the Elvis outfit. I live in Lexington, and I didn't have a car. One time when I came out to court, I came out the day before, walked from Walmart, where the bus stop, just as far as they go towards Nicholasville. I walked to Walmart, got a room at the Super 8, then I only had to walk just a little distance. I knew I could make it by 8 o'clock, or 8:30. Well, that particular day I didn't have $40 for the motel room. So I said, how am I going to get out there walking? I didn't know if I'd make it in time to get to court, walking all the full distance. It's about 10 miles one way. Well, I had hitchhiked in the Marine Corps over 150,000 miles. And you get rides real fast when you're in uniform. And I wanted to make sure I was going to be able to get here so I wouldn't be in contempt of court. Well, I put the Elvis outfit on and started walking from Walmart on up here to court. That's why I had the Elvis outfit on. It had nothing to do with police whatsoever. And matter of fact, apparently someone saw me on the 27 while I was walking up here, and they called the radio station here, and people started driving down to see me. Well, next thing I know, the police found out about it. The police cruiser pulled up alongside of me while I was walking, and he checked my ID and everything. And I stood behind the cruiser, and he went into the cruiser, checked my ID out and everything. Came back and he gave me my ID. He said, I can't let you walk on the highway here, because people were slowing down and things like that. And I wasn't trying to cause any problem, but I was just trying to get to court. And the police officer gave me a ride to Kroger's. Now, when I got to court, when I stepped up in front of the judge, that was somewhere around 10 o'clock maybe. Well, the police officer stopped me around 7 o'clock in the morning. And they said I had a 1.5 on the breathalyzer, handheld breathalyzer, okay? Well, at 7 o'clock in the morning, I should have been plastered, right? When the police officer stopped me. And he'd have had a duty to arrest me for AI or PI. And he didn't. Well, I don't know if you know this, Tyler, but those handheld breathalyzers they're not legal. They're not recognized in court in the state of Kentucky. Some states they are. The states that they are legal, they have to be calibrated every 30 days. I don't know when the last time that particular breathalyzer has been calibrated, or if it's been calibrated. But that's done by the state police. What they do in an alcohol-related incident, the state is required to offer you either the 5,000 intoxilizer, I think it's called, right at the jail, or a blood test. You have your choice, and that's by law to have that. The handheld breathalyzers are just a barometer to see maybe you are. So in other words, that breathalyzer test really shouldn't have been in the paper, but it was. But those are illegal in the state of Kentucky, and that's the only thing they use them for is they're like a polygraph machine. You can't use them in court, but they had one in court. But I think the judge probably thought that I was going to be tested over there on the regular machine because that's only proper to do. But that didn't happen. But they treated me very, very nice at the jail. They wonderful group of people over there. And anyhow, that's about the outfit. And the next thing here they had in here was, they said I got for an EPO order, okay? And if I can show you this, I don't need you to divulge this police officer's name yet, but I called my girlfriend or my ex-girlfriend, you might say, 3 times the day that's in question. This, Tyler, if you want to take a look at it, I've got that from the payphone company. Those are the 3 phone calls I made the day in question. You see, the last one was at 1 p.m., right? And there's another one there that's at 11 o'clock. or thereabouts, right? A little after 11 or something like that. Well, that's the one, apparently, that with my last phone call being at 1 o'clock, you can read this here, the complaint, and you'll notice what the police officer did.
But
He put 2,300.
2,300 hours, yeah.
Right. He cooked the books.
Yeah.
So instead of 11 o'clock in the morning, he made it 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
I got served at 6:30 in the afternoon. So the 11 o'clock in the morning call was not breaking the EPO. 11 o'clock at night would have been. So he cooked the books. And he's caused a lot of problem for the judge. And, the prosecutor, everybody. I mean, I never should have even been charged. And that'll come out, and then I'm going to have to, I'll settle that with a lawyer and that police officer for the trouble he's caused. And it's getting famous over here.
I know. We got paparazzi coming.
Yeah, really. There was one other thing I wanted to mention.
Yeah.
And incidentally, Tyler, there's no question about that, what the police officer did. That's a fact.
Think it's on purpose?
Surely he knows the difference between AM and PM. He either cooked the books, he's evil, or he's the same equivalency as the guy that don't know the difference between a taser and a gun. I mean, that's bad when if that's going on. I'm sure he knew what it was, because the tape don't lie. And from what I understand, the prosecutor has that tape with those 3 conversations on it, and none of them say 11:54 at night.
So that would have been violating. You weren't allowed to call after a certain time.
Right. When I got the EPO order, I got served at 6:30 that night. Okay. So I was not to call at all ever again.
Got it.
And I've abided by that. So the 11:30 thing that the police officer put down, whatever, is totally wrong.
Right.
Totally wrong. And the prosecutor, she has a duty that if she knows something that's wrong, she's supposed to notify my attorney. We should have been done with this a long time ago. And he's taken up the judge's time, and he's pretty intense. I mean, he's a good judge. A good judge. It's in the book here. Listen, find out. His name's Bill. Bill Oliver. Yeah, and he does a good job. He pays attention to what's going on, and I didn't know how the newspaper knew that I was going to be arrested, because the newspaper reporter was here.
Yeah.
Right after they had just announced that, so I didn't know whether they called the newspaper and said, "Hey, come on down, we're going to get Elvis arrested, and you get some pictures."
Somebody else that saw you go in called us and said Elvis is coming out of the courtroom here in about a half hour if y'all want to come out here.
Oh, really?
That's how it happened, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
but that was too good to miss.
Yeah. Well, thank you. But that's pretty much all I got to say about that. But I've been doing Elvis for, I guess, since about 6-7 years. Started off as an accident.
How did it start?
Well, a Halloween party. They asked me if I was going to come to a Halloween party, and I said, yeah. And they said, what are you going to come as? I said, the King. So I dyed my hair and grew the sideburns and stuff. And goodness, I won 2 first place prizes and 1 second.
Yeah.
I got beat out by Frankenstein. And next thing I know, the DJ asked if I'd do an Elvis show. I said, wait, this is just for Halloween, So I said, yeah, I'll try. So I started working on it, watching, listening to Elvis tapes and so forth. And next thing I know, I was doing an Elvis show at the Continental Inn every weekend.